Showing that I'm sharing the screen as not there. That's so funny. I'm
Someone going? Just doing the search box.
showing them right now.
People won't even know what the results are gonna get. 5:30 to 6:30. Be here at 5?
No, he actually had like a doing.
Oh. Wow.
And that's his thing.
Want to start here at 5? You can show up and agree. You can do that. Yeah, you guys are just the kids. I got the lower car. That's fine. Good. Step 1 to be in a top producer. Tell everybody you're a top producer. I'm gonna tell people I'm a professional football player. I like it. That works even better. That works even better. Register can we have for a rocket button? Yes. They're a husky small size. Medium, yes. Shmee or Smee? I think I like Shmee.
I think I know exactly.
You got a sweater on? You got a sweater. Take advantage of sweater weather.
Is that what it is? I just want to- I know, I don't think you should- Oh, okay.
No, it's full of time.
So, on the freaking place, so every morning after my workout, they make that ice cream. You see ice cream
Do
protein.
they really make an ice cream too?
So you mix the ice cream with vanilla. chocolate. So I try to get at least 60 grams of protein.
Yeah, same. Yep.
Are you, I mean, you're trying to do it right.
Right now, it's 25.
How do you do it?
I don't do well enough, but, it's way. Turkey, fish, venison, something. And then it's a little thing.
What levels? I got some white.
Oh, we eat like that.
Nebraska. It's
Oh,
the best
Like
one.
say, yeah. So.
That's what I'm trying to do every night. Cook myself is so,
Yep.
probably so good, not getting my heart. And I have a ton of out there in rock bass and stuff.
All of our.
Everyone is loving. So.
It's grass, what's the next stage?
I started eating. A lot.
That's a lot of our time.
It's a lot. But it's kind of good, because I've been eating a lot of hydrox. I love white rice. It's really good.
Can't hear me.
Is our clicker working?
It's working.
Yeah,
Well, it will be.
It will be.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that confidence. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
How's everyone's amazing rain-filled day?
Playing up water in Utah.
No, I love the rain. Other than the commute, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. For some reason, we have a drive here. Certain times of the year, what's up with that?
People were crazy. Is there a day they know how to drive?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can't tell, you're telling me California drivers are better?
Yeah, they do it quick.
They're definitely better. I would say in all the places I've been, Utah and Arizona, the worst drivers.
I think in California, people are more decisive. They're like, they go for it and you're like, well, and then they're out of your way. You know? Here, they're like,
Yes, yes. Take the initiative, that's what I say.
Right.
You're real estate agents, take the initiative, take the way. Go ahead and do 9 over the speed limit, it's totally fine. And if someone's trailing you in the fast lane, slide over.
There you go.
so it drives me nuts and I'm like, by the time I notice, I'm like, okay, I'll get over. And then they get over and I'm like, I would have gotten over if you would have just given me a second longer.
Yeah. So patience, is that the lesson today?
Just like,
We're gonna end the meeting today with patience, just have patience and your life will be so much better. We miss Rusty, is Rusty on Zoom?
There's like 4 buses.
There's more Rusty's on Zoom. Hi Rusty, we miss you. All right, this week's events. Oh. Wait, did I go? Oh, it's working. I've got control. Has anybody ever flown a plane or a helicopter?
written in.
I have control when you hand over the, yeah, I have control, Bradley. I have control. All right, Buggerfills, let's start with Buggerfills. Come on. Best way to start out the day. What are you grateful for? Or who are you grateful for? I'm grateful Chris is back. It's so sad not to look in that office and not see him in there.
Yeah, for sure.
He's in training still. He's with us in spirit. Tell him what you got. You got something for me. Still in the front row.
Yeah, let's fill Bradley's bucket. I have yet to be able to stump Bradley, and I don't know how long you been now. About 4 or 5 months? 3 months, 3 months. It's pretty good. He's a weapon.
He is a weapon. Have you seen him on the hockey rink?
I have not, but I'm.
The ice rink, what do you call that? It's not a,
Rink.
the ice rink.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play this winter?
Like men's league.
All right, one of our team meetings, we're just gonna go watch Bradley dominate.
Like,
You're gonna see that real weapon come out on the ice.
okay.
Anyone else bucket fills? Come on, let's get at least 3. Yes,
I want to tell Allison's bucket, she's just amazing. Watching her do stuff with Ignite is great. And then I got a chance to sit next to her at the Code of Ethics last week. And she just comes from a mindset of collaboration and sharing. And that's amazing. She's a great asset to our team.
yeah, she's phenomenal. And Bradley Lawrence bucket for getting Ignite attendance super high. Awesome to see that. A mix of new agents and experienced agents, which is always awesome. Way to go, Bradley. How many buckets of Bradley can we fill today?
Yeah, keep it coming.
I wish I was as tall as Bradley and good looking. It would be so much easier at this stage of life for me. Anyone else? One more? You just missed your bucket, beautiful. I'm so excited I get to go with you to OTEC tonight. We're gonna change lives. By changing lives, annoy the hell out of everyone that comes and sees us. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. They didn't have my size and I love our agents, so I'm just worried.
So he does.
I love you guys so much. I will feel also, she's not here, Hashimoto's bucket. We're working on a cool recruit to come back and her knowledge of command has kind of tipped the scales. And so if you're not leveraging command, come on now, Bradley and Loner, patiently waiting to just bring so much joy to you. All right. And I don't have control. Bradley, you have control. All right, tech trading, who's coming today? What's the big thing today? Yes. I'm
Yeah,
so
just-
excited.
Yeah.
What are we covering today in tech training?
It's how to create super cute marketing. Steph's not even in here too.
Super cute marketing. What does super cute marketing mean? What if you want a more masculine approach to marketing? Did you see the change in office scenery that went from Rusty's office to mine?
Freaked out yesterday.
You freaked out. She's like, what are you doing here? What's your job? No, it's okay.
I love Rosie, so.
He is still here. Rusty's not going anywhere. She will always be the GM. And I'm sorry, I'm not as bubbly and fun as Rusty. But yes, there is a change in there. So can we add masculine marketing to that as well? Manly marketing?
Either way customized.
It's
For sure.
customized marketing. It's all up to what you want.
My mom says I'm super cute, so that might fit me. Ignite Tuesday, Dalton and Christy running tonight.
It's gonna be a killer.
I'm bummed that I'm
There's
missing
never
out.
lots
Is it on Zoom?
Yeah.
Yes, it will be on Zoom. Define your value with Dalton Clark. What's your value? One word.
It's 3 words, right?
Well, I just want one word. This is my rule. I have the clicker, Allison. Do not interrupt when I say one word.
My value is,
Can I answer that question?
Me,
He's
please.
so amazing.
That's 2 words.
I just realized, you know, the bucket, I didn't interact with him before. I didn't have, it was just, hi, how are you, polite. He actually did had a showing of one of my listing in LinkedIn, and I was like, it was a bit of a struggle, and I was like, hey, you know, may I ask you, we're on the same team? Wow, guys, it was amazing, like the details, the suggestions, I mean, big time. He's amazing. He was very thorough. I felt like he was like, and he doesn't even know me, so he didn't need to do this, but I felt like he was describing, yeah, it really helped me. I'm under contract, I'm closing tomorrow. It was just, hey, you should fix this, because sometimes we don't see, even if it's our listing, we don't see it. And it was very sincere, and look, guys, he really took the time to bring it on. So I should have said it at a bucket list, but we're here now, so he's special.
That's why I said the one word is badass.
Is that one word?
Yes.
Okay,
What was it?
I will not argue with that then. Badass. How about you, badass? Badass. I like that one
there you
better.
go.
Badass.
Okay.
And then if you don't know Christy, when we went to, was it Tom Watson?
Oh,
It's
You want a motivational, you wanna like take self-inventory, listen to Christie's story, it's incredible. And life-changing. So, and then Tech Training Thursday campaigns. How many of you are running campaigns? Don't all raise your hand at once, then you should all be here for that. Ignite Thursday, Steph and Justin, that'll be interesting. Are we gonna accomplish anything in that Ignite meeting? Are we just gonna rip each other the whole time? And then Steph will go around and give everybody hugs.
Here.
I know.
This is why we can talk about them right now.
Say they're super cute.
We can't, that's redundant. Let's go with Precious. Precious is probably a better. Steph is definitely Precious. The word for Justin, I probably keep Peter.
Get the super cute reference.
Okay.
Steph says it to everything,
Oh,
like everything.
Yeah, if she's doing
That's
wants and needs, it's a super cute house, it has
Always.
super cute front, like everything is super cute.
Fires are super cute. Super fires. That was-
That's why.
okay. Thank you for bringing me into the inner circle. I was so far outside the inner circle. Thank you. Just to be accepted is enough for me. I will actually be at the Thursday Ignite as well, mostly just for comments to Justin and what he wears, just to keep him humble.
Show up this time.
Yes.
I'm putting my calendar.
Who wants to improve their business and get better at real estate? No, we want to just rip Justin to pieces. All right, Christy, do you want to cover this? And you said we already have 19 registrants for this.
I'm on there unofficially.
Oh. They are so comfy, like these are the shirts you get. You gotta sign up. Yeah. How do they pay? You're not paying on the document. Oh, you guys, kickoff event is on the 30th, September 30th. We're gonna do our first 5,000 steps together. And there's raffles, there's all sorts of great things. So it's $35 to participate. If you're participating, you're gonna be asking your followers for pledges to raise money for Fabian and his wife Amber. So you can sign up on the black QR code. Once you sign up, that's gonna get you your t-shirt size, and then you're going to donate the funds on the pink QR code. So if you're going to participate, you'll donate your $35 on the pink QR code, and then once we have everyone sign up, we're going to create you your own link to where you can send it to your followers to pledge money to support you raising money for this cause.
Well, 19 after today, we should have 50, I would
Yes,
assume.
you guys, yes. Please sign up this whole month, the whole month of October. Our goal is to walk 100 miles the month of October for breast cancer awareness and raise $10,000 for the Memorial Fund. That's our goal.
Do we have an update of where we're at?
On the
Fund-wise?
funds,
Yes.
like not very much. Like I think we have very generous offers. I'm not gonna mention the names, but we have like $1,000 in the ring.
So great.
So you guys, that was like within 1 week. So I know we can hit our goal. I want to like exceed our goal. You know, maybe like 60 goals or that. I think we can do it. So please stand up. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Can we count the 30th towards our mileage?
Yeah, we're kicking it off. So those miles you guys walk on the 30th is kicking it off for, because I mean, let's be honest, you're going to for treatment, you might get 100 miles in that night alone.
Bradley, we're gonna have 50 miles on the 5th, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody hear this? That we're Marcus insanely invited? Who's going? You, me, who else?
Dad.
Matt's gonna step up. Wow, is Matt in good shape?
What is it?
Mentally, he's in great shape. It's a 50 miler. Okay, I was all excited for it until I heard the start time. The start time is what, 1:30 a.m.? Yeah. I'm gonna carry a weapon in case there's cougars out there. Love it. If you haven't signed up, you all good?
Like a 50 mile. And thank you to our
It was
sponsors,
last year, I think.
our brokerage, Paul Charlotte Podcast, Legacy Mutual, Mortgage, ERS, Real Media. Okay, if you want to also donate a raffle item, I'd like to help with that.
Love it. All right, who's got their books? Who've got the full fee agent books? Sean does, yes? You got it on Audible? Where you at? Okay.
Tomorrow.
All right, I've got a copy of the book that's all written down. If you promise to read it in like a couple days, it's a super easy read. But it's got all my notes and rabbit ears. Anybody that wants that value, let me know. I'm excited for the first that we're doing this. You're gonna hear a lot of phrases from me about tactical empathy. The cool thing about this tactical empathy is I don't think it's just the best real estate book. I think it's the best book in relationships, handling all kinds of challenges in life. It's a phenomenal book. All right. Lauren, do you want to cover this?
Yeah, Marty Miller is flying into Utah just for digital marketing and social media training. If you don't know who Marty Miller is, he is probably one of the most familiar with Command. He does a 66-day challenge series on YouTube where he literally posts a 5 to 10 minute video for 66 days on all the different pieces of Command. His videos actually aren't like boring, they're pretty good. So he's actually coming to Utah on the 10th to teach all about how to use Command and make a million using all of his tools. So
There was a really cool class that we were part of that he's also implemented AI with Command, which is phenomenal. Is anybody leveraging AI in their business at all at a high level? This would be a great class to go and learn that and tie those together. Family reunion, our early bird special ends the day we do our initial walk. Who's going to family reunion? Wait, hold them high. If you're not, we're planning on doing our brokerage like a big party event. So if this is a high value, especially with what you gain from that. I love it. What got me introduced to Keller Williams was I was flown in experience family reunion. It is much of a cult, which is fine. Keller Williams is one of the most glorious cults there is out there, but what a great experience. And what is it? What does the price jump up to after the 30th? 1,000, right?
And last year they brought in like Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins, so they bring in big speakers in there.
I love Tony. I thought Mel stole the show.
They say this year it's gonna be bigger than that, if you can imagine it.
They're making offers for me to come teach this class that I'm going to give you guys today. Just that, nobody. I'm kidding. You're not. Lauren, gonna pick on you again. Let's go the $100,000 pipeline in 90 days.
but there's a class on September 18th and 19th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. It's a free class, just the 4 laws of lead generation. So it's for 2 days. If you guys are interested in doing something like that, sign up for a free event.
Wow. I feel underdressed all of a sudden.
I apologize for this.
So underdressed. Buyer and seller agent tools to thrive. Do you guys find value in what these classes offer? Have they been impactful? What's that? MREA addendum. This has been, you guys all heard the rumors about the MREA 2.0. And what has kind of come out from it? There's been some additional playbooks that have been added to this, but the great thing is that everything is updated in your KM software. And I would suggest definitely leveraging that, especially in your business. KW cares this. Oh,
Lauren said to skip it.
Yeah, skip that one. We're doing that one next
okay. All right, TCPA. Every time you log into Command, you have to check this box. Any concerns with TCPA? Sean, Ken, do you want to touch on this?
Just make sure you do it. Just make sure you're doing it.
Just make sure you check the box and hit next.
No.
And you're good.
Make sure
Script your calls. We actually used to run a call center, many call centers, and we got hit with so many lawsuits on this. So you do have to be careful with what you do. Today's sponsor.
It's your turn.
That's it. Well, welcome to the show, guys. This is one of the big things in my experience was when I ran door-to-door companies, there was a communications class that we taught. And I think right now with the NAR, and Chris and I were talking about this a few minutes ago, how challenging it was communicating with the other agents. Have you guys experienced any challenges in your communication with listing agents or buyer's agents. What are some experience? I'm just curious to hear. John?
I don't wanna constantly speak, however, I feel that our industry we don't answer the phone. If we don't recognize the number, we send it to voicemail, right? We don't respond. We don't call people back. We're a horrible communicator. Now, our current clients, our current friends or family, we're great with, because we have a program on our phone. But it's almost like we see a number we don't recognize and we're looking at it going, is that a solicitor? Is that a guy trying to sell me insurance, right? Because there's so many of those that we avoid the phone.
I've noticed that in the majority of my day is spent calling other agents in your caliber to get them to come and experience our culture that we have here. And I've noticed that the agents that pick up the phone generally are the ones that are extremely successful, that are at least 5 million and above every year. And so I think it's interesting, most voicemails, I'm guilty of this, say, if you want a quicker response, what? Text me. Chrissy, yes. Please.
So. Find myself out, not best practice, but I did it on vacation, both times on vacation, my phone rang and I didn't recognize the number, but I was like, you know what, I'm not, whatever. I'm just gonna answer that number. Both times I answered on vacation. One was a referral from a New York agent that has now turned into 3 deals. The other one was the weirdest one ever, that this guy legit had a property in Utah to sell. He was coming from California. I thought it was complete. Yeah. Turned out it was his property. That's turned into 4 deals.
Wow. How did the referral find you and how did the guy in California find?
By my online presence, both of them. They just typed in top realtors in Utah and I popped up because of my presence. And the guy, the weird one, he was like, you're the only one that it was spring break. And he was like, well, you're the first one to answer and the only one that's called me back. So I guess you get the job. And I was like, for real.
Wow.
Like, he was just ready to sign me, like, without even meeting me or doing a consultation. I'm like, well, let me get back and anyways, so answer your phone.
I love that. I can vouch that most people in California are pretty weird, so I can imagine. No offense to anybody that's from California. One of the interesting, how many of you are cold calling? I'm also interested in the fact that most of the agents that I speak to, nobody prospects. Their idea of prospecting is what?
Lunch?
Just work my SOI, which is the most important form of prospecting, but nobody's really cold calling. Nobody's reaching out to anyone outside their SOI. Why is that so difficult?
Fear.
Fear of rejection.
Fear with it, rejection. Where does that fear stem from?
Childhood.
That's a whole other class that we're gonna get into at a different time. The trauma coach inside of me goes, all right, what are we gonna get with this? Where are we gonna go with this? Where does this stem from? We're not gonna talk about mom or dad today. We're just gonna focus on the best communication practices. If you were to
Everyone's vulnerable and everyone just laughed at me. I'm just trying.
I think
You're
the
solidifying.
laugh is like every one of us has the same fear and trauma from childhood. Whatsoever. Please, more smartass. It's one word. Smartass. Question, what percentage of people buy on emotion?
70,
70%? 90? Anyone else?
85.
85%. We just go.
$1, Bob.
Can I get an 86? Can I get a 91? People buy 100% on how they feel. Do you notice that with your clients in real estate?
Yes.
What is the emotion that triggers that when they buy or when they want to sell? Pain, still a powerful emotion. What else? Interesting thing on pain. Do you know that 90% of people move away from something because it's fearful? Only 10% go to something that's positive. So fear and pain is a huge emotion when it comes to buying and selling. But when you're buying, what is that emotion?
It's excitement. They envision themselves in space is usually what I find. That's the key thing.
They see themselves in that environment, in that kitchen, in that yard, in that living room, right? They see the vision of parties, kids growing up. Like that emotion is way more powerful than any fear. Who knows who Jimmy Johnson is?
Which one?
Cowboys go.
The old Cowboys coach, who was the Miami Hurricanes coach for a long time. He wrote a book and he came back and redacted his statement, but in his book, he said that his success in coaching came almost 100% from instilling fear. Fear of being cut, fear of losing playing time, fear of being traded. And he said he used that fear to motivate. But he since then came back and said that there was an even bigger motivating factor, and that was, what do you think?
Envisioning victory.
Victory is definitely one of them.
Fear of him getting fired.
Fear of him getting fired. The most powerful emotion was confidence.
We will win.
We will win, or instilling the confidence in the player.
I never actually got to answer my one word to define my value.
Oh,
That
we're
was-
going
that was the word.
17-5. Confidence.
That's all I can come up with. I don't know what.
What, so is
I gotta
confidence,
just rule the judges.
so is confidence, do you think confidence is the elimination of fear?
No, it's the use of fear.
Dive into that one, Dalton.
Without the confidence, you will succumb to the fear, or you can use it as a fuel. You just go like, I know what I'm doing, I got this. Like I said, it's only partially a joke when I say, all you gotta do is convince the judges, right? And that if everybody else believes you can do it, you can probably do it. Right? And that fear. Yeah, you can either let it pull you off course, or you can use it as a fuel to just throw yourself off the cliff, I guess.
Like that. So confidence is not the removal of fear, it's using that fear, but finding belief in yourself. So who knows the 3 missions of our brokerage that we're implementing and trying so hard to instill in everyone? 3 missions. This will be another redundant thing that we talk about most weeks. 1, the success of your business, your real estate business. That is our biggest cheerleading moment for anyone in the leadership team. 2 is your personal growth. And 3 is what? Your wealth, your long-term wealth. Do you guys want to sell real estate until you die? I'm not a big, Gary always said that his gravestone will just say realtor, right? Real estate agent, right? Do you want to do that until you die? And the question that we often ask, which we're creating a vision board here, is if you didn't have to worry about finances and you didn't have to worry about your status, what would your passion be? This is a deep question because it often changes, but what would your number 1 passion be? You can shout it out if you like. Ken, what's your passion?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, for me, it doesn't change. My passion is helping others. That's why I'm a broker. I like to help others with their situations. And even with money not being an issue, it doesn't change. I help people in my church, I help people in my community, I help people here at work. It's all about helping people. If we do our jobs right, we're helping people with the largest decision that they ever make. And it creates a trust and loyalty between us.
Love that. Anyone else have a passion, desire that they want to pursue? You have something to say, I want to hear it.
Well, I just, that actually, this has been an ongoing conversation with me and Kaylee. Like, I feel like I've been in survival mode for so long. It's not something I find very easy to think about. Like, I derive a lot of purpose from working and getting success to work. There's not much else that I really find that drives me. As strange as that sounds. So you said, do you want to die doing real estate? Kind of, yeah.
Love that, but it drives you for
Yeah.
today. But there's oftentimes that's right, like most middle-aged men will go get a gold chain and a Corvette, right? Laura, no offense to your beau
He's-
getting a Corvette. I know. But there's this idea of like this identity, like what is my passion? Like who am I? What do I want to pursue? And so this personal growth is huge. I read a quote this morning by Dr. Samuel Johnson. Language is the dress of thought. And this got me thinking deeply about what drives us. So when we talk about our personal growth, Like what you think eventually becomes action. So what is it you think about? How do you think about yourself? Like you talked about your drive has been the success in your business, right? And maybe your self-worth is tied to that success.
Yeah.
So one thing that I would love you to think about is like, what is your worth? Are you continually trying to prove your worth, or are you enough today and figure out what that passion is? Does this, go ahead, Taylor.
I just started the book Worthy, and
Yeah.
it talks about self-confidence and self-worth, and I'm super excited to learn more about that. It's on like your external and internal feelings.
Yeah. Being enough who you are rather than having to prove that to everyone else. I think anyone who grows up short always has something to prove in life, right? Whether that's on the football field or in business or whatever else, you're always trying to earn that. If you can have that mentality of I'm enough the way that I am today, then everything goes smoothly. And so I want to, in this communications section, if you will, what you think about definitely expands it, what grows. And so right now, I think, and Chris and I were talking about this right now, earlier, this is a perfect time for success. Is real estate down? Are there plenty of people making great money? Right? So it's not necessarily down. There's still plenty of success to have there. If you can improve the skills, I really think right now is the best time to enhance those skills. Communication is definitely one of them. The ability to listen, the ability to interact, the ability to engage is so important and crucial right now. If you can perfect these skills or get better at these skills, and you maintain your discipline of prospecting, SY, whatever that is, then it just will grow so much better. I think this time right now is a perfect way to amplify your business going into 2025. When I think of amplify, I think of like a megaphone. I can whisper into a megaphone and it will expand outward. And so what you're doing now and diving and enhancing these skills are going to grow immensely. What are ways that you guys prospect outside of your SOI? I'm sorry?
I love thrifting and I love estate sales.
Okay.
So a lot of people do yard sales because they're downsizing. So then I find out, well, are you selling? What are you selling? Are you interested? And then.
I love while you buy an old vase from the 1920s and whatever else. Love that. So you're diving into a passion, using your passion to enhance your business. I love that. What are other ways you guys prospect?
Birthdays.
Go on with that.
I just, on Facebook, I send, not me, it's leverage now, just happy birthdays before their birthday. And that turns into business.
I love that. I think that's a 36 touch program. Something like that,
Yeah.
right? I love that. So you do it the day before. You get there before anyone else.
We
that
actually
does.
just shifted it because I have a new assistant that has a different outlook on it, and we actually send it out on Sundays for the week of. But the whole idea and concept is that you're not getting muddled into everyone else. I know that not everyone has 5,000 friends like I do, but on my birthdays, I just want to shut my phone off because we can tell. So you want to make sure that you're getting either before or after so that you're standing out.
I would almost argue that most people have things that we're going to take their fun on Sundays and they
Yeah,
don't.
it's actually changing it to Sundays has been perfect.
Yeah. Well, then it gets them methodically thinking about what are they going to do.
Well, that's a lot of them, and that's what my conversation is, because my assistant sends it out, and then I'm able to follow up, and they're like, oh yeah, I don't have any plans. I'm like, why? It's your birthday, go do something. And then I've had a handful of people like, oh yeah, we actually went to dinner. Thanks for encouraging him.
Love that. Anyone else throw out? Nobody calling expireds? Door knocking. Woman after my own heart.
It's fun,
It is.
honestly.
What makes it fun?
Talk to people.
They can't just say, text me, right? There's no voicemail. Okay. Well, then then I'll get into the door knock. Does anybody else door knock? For open houses, right? Because you have a purpose to door knock. So what is your message when you door knock open houses?
Oh, it evolves, right? And I try to read the person too. So sometimes it's just to invite them. Sometimes they're curious about, they always wanted to see that neighbor's house and we have a great conversation. And actually, I've met some of my favorite clients from the open house.
There was, I forget his name. It was one of the original Remax guys that moved to California from Tennessee. This was the 90s. And he had no SOI in California. So all he did was go and knock doors, and he didn't ask for business. His specific thing was, what would you like improved in your community? And is it Patrick? You old brokers should know who this guy is. Anyway, but he's built this multi-million empire just by going out and goes, how can we improve your community? What would you like improve? And getting involved in that. What other prospecting ideas? Yes, Misha.
At the school, my kids' school, I'm very involved with the kids' school. And I realize people think sometimes that I even work there. So a couple weeks ago, I got a hat from here, like advertising a company, but it says Realtor. And it was interesting to see after 4 years, nobody knew exactly what I was doing. And it's interesting because a year ago, I gave some little gift and I thought it would make, but I guess people forget if you're not present. So as much as I can, I wear that hat.
Right. I love it. What are the 4 things you should be doing in prospecting every day?
Board. No, it's another acronym.
There's
So
no,
the appointment is the
there's-
last thing.
there's no acronym. We actually covered it at night on the opening day last Tuesday, a week ago. No, keep throwing out just acronyms. BDAS, what else? What else we got?
Lead gen, lead follow up.
You should add, well, we're getting into specifics. How many people do your database today?
Oh, I see.
10? How many people should? Depends on your goal, right? I think I've heard 5, I've heard 10. Whatever, add 10 new people in your database. What's the next one?
10 conversations.
10 conversations to remind people that you're in real estate, right? Wearing that realtor hat, right? Reminding them that you're in real estate because you're always wanting to be top of mind. What's 3? Thank you cards, like handwritten ones, right? I said this before, when I was traveling back and forth from LA, I would use JetBlue a lot, which was phenomenal. Every time I sat down, there was a handwritten note the captain had signed and the flight attendants, and it just made me feel so cool. Like, wow, they actually think of me. So, and Russie said this too, like when she opens up her mail, the first thing she reads is any handwritten note. What's the 4th thing? But social media is a great way to interact with your SOI, to remind them that you're in. Follow up. You should review 5 properties in the area that you are farming. So you know the ins and outs of it, right? You do this when you do your CMAs, but if you understand who you're calling and where you're calling and understand the properties, the schools, the stores, all the things that make that community or that farming area special, it helps you stand out. So let's get into this. What business are you guys in?
Relationship.
Lead gen.
So if you were to say that Keller Williams Success Office is in the business of what? I like relationships. Is real estate agent a negative word?
Yes.
Why?
Consumer stuff.
Right? Oh, they just want money. They're going out, especially now, they want their 3%. Are they really worth that 3%? You know, who was the plaintiff? Sitzer, the plaintiff in the NAR lawsuit who didn't get any of the 200+ million funds that the attorneys got. He just started his own real estate business,
Flat fee.
right? Flat fee.
And even Redfin's like, we tried that, it doesn't work. Best of luck, sir.
But it's interesting. Do you think he's in the business of relationships? That's the guy that's in the business of, right? And is there any value with that?
For some people,
What do you mean?
there's some consumers who genuinely think that that's where the value is, in that lower price point.
Because they think real estate agent is a negative word, right?
Yeah, well, I would argue yes for some of it, and then another part of it is people just want to get things for as cheap as possible. Like, I just lost one to somebody that wanted to get it as cheap as possible.
Really?
You should see how, I couldn't help it, I had to send Kaylee the photos, so I looked up their production too. I'm so petty, I was so bad. But I mean, I was like, they better have paid absolutely nothing for what they're getting. It wasn't even 2 full sentences for the listing description.
Chris, didn't you say you lost to somebody that said they shouldn't offer a buyer's agent commission? What, do you know what happened with that? Are you as petty and find out what happened?
I just said to Adam.
And I'll be honest, and then I did get the comparison 4 years that I've been in real estate of transactions that I can claim on my own. I have 54. They had like 7.
You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
So what business and relationships are you in? Are you waiting for someone to call you or are you in the direct sales?
Technically direct sales.
I know that's, direct sales is a negative word for any real estate agent because it's beyond that, but this, in the level of communication, you are in the business of direct sales. Once in a while, you can be as amazing as Chrissy and people, random dudes in California just call you to sell their house. But you guys are in the business of direct sales, meaning if you don't go out and actually communicate and talk to your people, or the people you have not met, you have the Mets and the have not Mets, if you're not interacting and communicating with them in an effective way, then you're gonna miss out on the business. You are indeed in the business, which is so important. Which gets us to the 3 levels of communication. First, you have your verbal. What is verbal communication? Yeah, the words you say, right? When we say real estate agent, is that a positive or negative word? Most part has a negative word when you hear agent. What are some other words that you don't want to use when you talk to your clients? How about contract? Contract is a pretty negative word. What's another way to soften the word contract? Agreement, right? Any other negative words that you can change? What's that? Commission. We're not gonna cover that one right now. Yeah, commission. What's a way you can soften that word?
Compensation.
Compensation. And if you're super good at communicating, you'll know the value and they have no issue with that, which we're gonna get into more with the whole fee agent. What percentage of your success in real estate is based on what you say?
1%.
I feel like 95.
I would say almost 100%.
You guys are gonna hate me. Only 7% of what you say is effective. 7%. So what are the other 2 ways of communication? Right? Nonverbal. What's nonverbal?
So is it like 80-20? When you work for Marriott, they say you have to listen 80% and just talk 20%? Is that what you're getting?
Well, there's 3 of us here, so let's break it down even further. So what's nonverbal? Body language, right?
Perma face, they call it.
The perma face, I think there's another word, but go on. Are you, this is a safe place. Are we recording this? Perma face.
Yeah, because seriously, like, there's people in, when I worked in my previous life, but seriously, there were people in the workplace that were known that people were afraid to approach just because of they did not look approachable. They
Because have a negative aura because they haven't resolved childhood trauma. Yeah. You know what? The 3 of us are just gonna have a childhood trauma.
Here, if they have a bad experience with someone that had resting bitch face, and so now they associate that with everyone else.
Yes.
Like, it's true.
Thank you for saying what everyone would think. So grateful for it. Yeah, that's right. So then what in this nonverbal, in this body language, what % of your success is based on body language?
Is that the 80%?
We still have 1 more to cover. All right, well, let's, hold on, let's, what's the last way? What's the last way we communicate?
Action. Well, she missed. Oh.
You're not sure now.
Yeah.
I can't do it right. Metaverse.
I'm not sure. That's the first time I've ever heard that. I feel so great right now. Thank you.
Is that like keyword?
What's metaverbal? What is metaverbal?
No, that meta is everything, large.
Boom. So Dalton hit the nail on the head. How do you be in a relationship? Well, it's not what you said. It's how you said it. Information. Metaverbal. How effective is metaverbal? How you say things. All right. So now which one is higher up in that level of success? Why?
Because you can say F off with a smile and then you're confused.
Well, the smile is body language, right? That's your nonverbal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the tone, that's what I mean, like going
It's not what you
together.
said, it's how you said it.
It was. how
When you
I
said resting bitch face, it's how you said it. It's got everyone's so excited. Right? Metaverbal is 55% of success. Which leaves what? Who's the math whiz? Bradley, you're the math whiz.
Oh, I don't know.
38.
38% in body language. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Why? Because you guys were saying this is like 90%.
We didn't
80%.
have the other two answers.
I can't give you everything.
Because these are just subcategories of verbal.
I kind of want to base this on a script. What's a favorite script that you guys use? And we can dialogue and practice this. Spitballing. What's a favorite script you have? You want to use a cold call? You want to use a door knocking script? What do you want to do? This is the way. So what's interesting, if you were in retail sales, meaning if I worked at Nordstrom, let's say, who loves Nordstrom? Is that a good store? Or is there a better store? Utah's Dillard's. I'm not going to use Dillard's. I will not deface myself to go to. I'm kidding. Dillard's is great. So Nordstrom, you guys like Nordstrom? When you go in there and someone comes up to you, what's the first thing they say?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, what can I help you with? What are you looking for? What's your response immediately? I'm just looking, leave me the hell alone. That's what you think. I'm just looking, leave me the hell alone. What if my approach was, hey, I'm just looking. It's going starting. But we have some things back. I'll let you check it out. What are you gonna do now that I walk away? You're gonna follow me and go, whoa, wait, what? Where is this rack? Where is this section? Do you see the difference in that? What was different?
You made him, you made him afraid that they weren't gonna get the sale.
Well, afraid they were gonna get the sale. How was my tone? How was my change? Like if I go up and like, hey, I'm Tim, what's going on? Want to buy a car for me today? Like, what can I do to get you in this sweet new Corvette? Oh, it's not here. Like it's still car salesman, right?
The previous one was indirect and non-confrontational.
So we get into this emotional bank account. Have you guys ever seen the emotional bank account?
Yes.
Wish I was taller. The emotional bank account. When you cold call someone, when you knock on their door, what's the first thing their body language does? Like I had last night at my house, there was a door knock. And I'm like, this will be interesting. I don't know who's coming here. I've only been in the place a little, like 2 months. So I go and open the door. It was the missionaries. White shirt, ties, badges shining. I was super excited because I was a missionary once. I know how hard that can be, right? But when you, as an agent representing an open house, when they open the door, what's the first thing they do? What do you want? They may not do it that extreme, but like, what do you want? Right? Where are they at on the emotional bank account?
Negative.
Boom. Get off my doorstep. I'm not interested in what you're selling. I don't care what you say. I have no desire to do that. So the art of communication is to get them to this, to just one. So when you're cold calling someone, when you're knocking doors, when you're calling your SOI, what is your number one goal? Now I have goal A and B. What's the goal in real estate?
See how they're doing.
Okay, so you said, so we always say get the appointment, right? That's actually the B goal.
Yeah.
That's the B goal. What is goal A when you are cold calling, door knocking, whatever?
Oh, sorry.
Getting interest.
Getting interest?
Engagement. and response.
Engagement. Volume. Your number one goal is engagement. Why?
Because you can't go to point B, you can't get anything if they're not interested. If they don't show involvement, they.
If they're at least here, right? And then you can work that up based on your
What's the rate?
metaverbal and nonverbal to get that up higher, to eventually get the appointment.
Yeah.
And so I know we're supposed to track our calls. I'm more interested in your conversations. What is a quality conversation? How long?
Like 4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes. I agree. I think 5 minutes are not because they'll engage with you, right? And that's where the Ford principle comes in and all of that stuff. So who's got a script? What script do you want to use today? Don't all jump in at once. Dalton, you got a script. Everyone's pointing to you. There was a middle finger at one time.
It was very nice. I mean, yeah, but what are we doing? What's
You tell me, give me a script. I don't care what it is.
sure?
We'll role play this.
Let's door knock an open house. I think is what you're using. right?
Door knock and open house. All right, what's the script in the open house?
They open, they give me the, what the hell do you want? Go, hey, I'm Dalton. This is my partner, whoever I'm door knocking with. It's been a minute, I'm rusty, and now I'm on the spot.
This is good. This is good. This is where we learn.
Yeah, hey, I'm Dalton. This is my partner. We're with Keller Williams, with local real estate agents. Not selling anything today. Just wanted to let you know that your neighbors put their home up for sale and we're going to an open house this weekend. So I wanted you to be aware that there's probably gonna be more traffic. So if you have pets or kids, we just let the neighbors know that with the higher traffic, we want pets and kids to be safe, right? And they usually go, oh, okay, great, and then we try to close the door. And then.
And then you're like prying the door open, like, it's free, right? How, when you first get on the phone and call or door knock, how's your voice?
Oh, use your phone voice, careful.
Cheerful, it's always going up, probably fast, right?
Should we put it down?
Well, you're jumping ahead, how dare you jump ahead in a presentation? So let's get into this nonverbal. So we get into spacing. If I'm gonna knock a door, how far apart from the door should you be?
I step way back,
Yeah, I'd
Wait.
say like,
like I'll ring it and then.
And then you run down the street and they're like,
Then I'll usually stand up 5 feet or something, might get in distance,
Okay.
but I don't wanna freak them out.
so 0 to 3 feet is your intimate zone. Wow. I was told it didn't matter if I spelled correctly. So 0 to 3 feet is your intimate zone, which is what? Probably your significant other, right? That's your intimate zone. You want to be in someone's face. That's when you go to Nourish and they're like, hey, what's with, right? Or the used car salesman that goes immediately with the handshake. Remove the handshake from anything until the very. All right, 3 to 8 feet is what? That's your safe zone, right? It's safe and non-threatening. Non-threatening, meaning that you're not gonna rob their house, you're not looking to steal anything, you're not casing the area for something later. So you're exactly right. That 3 to 8 feet, about 6 to 7 feet is probably the most safe. And then 8+, that's your
weirdo.
go to hell zone. I have no desire to talk to you. I don't know why I'm here, right? So you want to stay in this safe. How about our gestures? What should our gestures be in nonverbal?
I have a terrible habit. I always am holding things that I'm gonna give away and I'm fidgeting with them, I feel like.
Do you know that's actually effective?
Really?
Yep. Why? Why do you think that would be effective?
Real.
If I'm,
Yeah, but I think it's more of like if you want to dial down to like, I don't have a weapon, you can see my hands, you can see they're engaged in something that's not threatening.
right, but sometimes you're fidgeting too much, it can seem like you're nervous.
Yeah.
Right, you don't want to sound nervous. So the gestures, also the face gestures. This is a tough one right, we talked about permaface.
Yeah.
We'll use that one, just for those people that like the missionaries that come to their door, whatever. Permaface. This has to match this. Whatever your face expression is, has to match what you're saying. And so usually when you're fidgeting or when you always hold something or open house sign, whatever it is, flyers, whatever, it allows you to have control of your facial expression. How should you stand? How should your body positioning be?
I would say just slightly off, or just
Yeah.
slightly off. Like,
Slightly off what?
not squared up with the person. So like if I have another partner with me, I, angle towards, gesture towards my partner.
You know, the
And
most effective door knocking technique is usually if you're leaning against something.
Really?
Mhm.
I feel like that's disrespectful.
I would too, yeah.
If you're leaning against my house.
Well, it's, someone who's polled several 100,000 people, right, with door knocking, usually leaning against something or being, the last thing you want to be is confrontational.
Yeah.
Right, you want to be as non-confrontational as ever, because what your number one goal is what? Create engagement, but if I'm standing like this and I want to reach in and go shake their hand, that's,
Right in front of them.
yes, extremely threatening. And so, and I'm not saying you like slouch or whatever, but you're standing non-threatening away from them, yes.
So I had an experience with that. My boys in the summer sales and so I'm the same way. Someone comes to the door. I invite them in, I'll give them, even if I don't buy something, I'll give them a candy bar and a pop or something, just to, I've even given him $10, thanks for coming. I appreciate you working, you know?
Wow.
But, I had one come to my door though one time and he was doing that. But I think you have to pull it off in a certain way because it was almost too confident, like he was handling me and
Manipulating.
I didn't like the.
You don't like to be manipulated,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. There's a fine line. That's what I'm saying is be respectful, but usually standing sideways in some capacity, maybe not leaning against something, but saying, always holding something. Right, and I always carry a pen because you never know what value from that, or to take notes. So you can go back and practice some of the 9-10 closes later on in life, right? All right. Interaction. What's your interaction? If we're trying to create engagement, what kind of interaction should we have? Always compliment something. So the one thing that I love with interaction is you have to be specific. And anything that you do with your specificity in your verbal communication has to be specific. If something stands out, something in the yard, light fixtures, a painting you may see, whatever it is, whatever that is, that interaction, what does that immediately do when you compliment someone? But it's not just a compliment, it's how specific can you get in that compliment, or how specific can you get in that interaction? Specificity is a crucial piece to creating engagement.
I feel like that's because the more specific it is, the more genuine it feels. Like the more believable it is.
Totally agree. When someone said they loved my sun radiant yellow shoes I wore last week, it was so much more confident when just like, oh, I like your shoes. So specificity creates more engagement and interest in whatever it is you're doing. Right? And you can apply the 4 principle in that conversation, whatever that is. All right. You said a word that is sometimes triggering. Dalton. Why does the phrase, don't worry, I'm not selling you anything? What is
Because you
that?
are.
You totally are. Are you not? I'm not putting you down because this is an effective script, and Keller Williams teaches this all the time. Is like, this is not a call. Do you know, so.
Puts it in your head that you're trying to sell something, even though you say
What do you sell?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
Sorry, I'm
What do
not
you
sorry.
sell?
So do you
With
know
the open
what's,
house, that's different. I'm thinking like solar people, they're out.
Oh.
Or the window cleaners. We have.
I mean, if
so
you're
many-
being deceitful and deceptive, then yeah, I definitely wouldn't use that because you'll lose.
Yeah.
You'll lose every time. But when
With
when
your-
I'm out promoting an open house and having conversations with the neighborhood, I'm not selling, I mean, there's nothing they can buy from
I
it.
think yours is
Tell them
different
not
because
selling.
the whole reason you're going is let them know.
no, but it is the end goal not to hopefully list their house? Or is the goal not to get them interested in knowing what their house is worth?
Sure.
Right? Is that not the interest? Do you want to shy away from something that provides that kind of value?
I don't charge for either of those, so I'm selling it.
For sure, I understand that, but obviously the big selling point is eventually to get this, right? To get the
Yeah,
appointment.
sure.
One interest, Jenny, go ahead.
I was gonna say, switch it up. I'm here to let you know about an event I'll be hosting down the road.
Sure,
Sure. Like, heard about it.
What's a good way to create interest in that open house?
Even.
With what? Do you say vagueness or fakeness?
Vague.
You don't fake them out. Please, we don't approve of faking anybody out. Fake, what do you mean by that?
Just that I'm holding it, it's kind of like the holding an event and then letting them know about the traffic.
What's another way you can be specific in creating that interest? Yes, please.
I've done a bit of the nothing for the open houses and I always tell them, hey, your neighbor's having an open house. And you know, we can-
Yeah.
For sure.
I've actually had. neighbors go,
Or what if you could drop a hint of, I was surprised, the value in this neighborhood is fantastic. We're probably expecting between 50 and 100 people over the weekend. So just if you see a lot of cars, have you ever thought about what your home may be worth? Like, right, they're gonna be nosy, what is it selling for, what's this, what's ever that, and it gets you opportunity to fill out the fidgeting flyers that you have, right? And all of that stuff, you're creating interest, we're trying to move them up, right? Number one goal engagement is move them up that emotional bank account. They feel non-threatened, And now their interest is picked a little bit, right? Of what's maybe going on. Any questions on this?
Now,
What-
can I tell you, on a door knock that I did to kind of try and get that engaged, is they weren't interested in the open house, but they were curious about. They just said, hey, do you know, this person across the street had a for sale sign, but it was only up one day. And I said, oh, I could probably get you some more information on that if you'd like. And she says, oh, I would really love to. I said, okay, would you prefer for me to text that to you or an email? And she said, oh, here's my cell phone. I said, okay. So the next day, so that night I went home because it was door knocking for an open house. The next day, so that night I did a handwritten note, printed out some stuff and anyway, and then after the open house, I went and delivered it to her. And just said, here's the information you requested. You know, I'd love to be able to send you more information, but just cause you say it's important for the follow through and just trying to keep the engagement going.
Yeah, I mean, that's a golden potential customer, right? Client, right there. Would anybody do anything different if they showed that kind of interest?
I know what I would do that's not right.
Go on. We want to discuss all the things that aren't right.
I mean, as soon as you said that situation, I was like, oh, I need to get their info and then follow up with them later. But I know standing there at the doorway, I'd be like, well, let me see. And I will pull out my phone and try and find that information for the friend of that.
Well, what you want to set up the return
Yeah,
appointment,
yeah.
right? Commit them to that. You got the contact information. And oh, by the way, one thing that's really effective is I put together what we call, go ahead, Phil.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. please.
You also want to make sure that they know that you're not there for them, that you're not working for their neighbors. And that if you were to work for them at some point, you would have the same dedication and the same commitment to time blocking for them at the time.
Absolutely.
So going in, even though it may be a contract right there and then, I think sends the wrong message. And it doesn't let you maximize your.
So you can communicate that by, I'm focused on this. What if are you,
Yes.
is this time the best time for you if I was to come back and we can go into that information? Are you interested in also knowing the value of your home?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's
Love
great.
it. Anyone else on that? This whole thing on not selling. So obviously one of the big jobs I have as a team leader is recruiting. Has anybody ever recruited before? In any level? Right?
I guess, isn't that kind of what we're doing too?
Absolutely.
In our own way.
You for sure are. You're recruiting to your SOI to know the 6 things about them and put them on a 36 touch program, become their best friend, and wish them happy birthday the Sunday before their birthday so you can find out what they're doing specifically, right? Like you are recruiting in that level. One of the things that's I think has been effective for me in my script when I call agents, because same thing, when I call somebody, you have the new team leader, Keller Williams, success. And it's just like, another call from another brokerage trying to get me over here. And so what do they think I'm gonna say? I'm not selling you. I just want to discuss your business and your wealth and your personal goals and this. I get right into, this is 100% a recruiting call. Now, I know the value, I've consulted with enough brokerages. I know the value that KW Success is and Keller Williams in general. And so if I was Google and I was a headhunter and I was calling people, how happy would you be if I was a headhunter going like, this is Tim with Google. We freaking want your talent. Would you take that call? Yeah. Why?
Because one is Google, they're prestigious, they probably can offer you a lot of money. And they're interested in me, they think I'm amazing.
Well, I think like what Fabian was saying, if you're going to the door and saying you're not selling the house, then are they really gonna wanna listen? Because you're going around not selling.
You don't even have to ask me. If you think it needs to be thrown away, you
If
can
you
throw it
can
away.
put this in your mind, when you have an uninterrupted opportunity to talk with somebody, that is your time to show
You're just threw away $5
how effective your
or more.
verbal, nonverbal, and metaverbal communication. You are essentially, without any distractions, there selling what you offer. And so that's why you have to be so crystal clear on what your value is, and confidence is a must. How do you develop that confidence, which we'll get into with this metaverbal? How do you get that confidence? Practice, right? Are you doing scripts? Are you role playing? All those things, obviously. But if you have to be clear on your values, so when you knock that neighborhood at that open house, there's a reason they're selling. There's a reason they're using, right? And you have to portray that in a way that's not fair.
Remember how we had that one thing down there?
Let's dive into memorable, the 55%, the biggest part of everything we do. I've broken it down into 5: speed, voice inflection, tone, volume, spacing of words. Let's get to speed. All right, you've got super fast, or you got fast, you have normal and slow. Which is the most effective?
Depends.
It depends.
Normal.
Normal. So if what happens when you just start cold calling for the first time? Like you want to just verbally vomit any value or any opportunity because they're on the phone. And if I get that, what is that? And when you talk fast, what does that do? It increases heart rate, it increases anxiety, it increases just urgency that doesn't need to be there. What about normal? Normal person, right? How you talk to your friends or whatever. Which one, what about slow?
I'm very impatient, so.
Clearly. I'm kidding. I understand being impatient. This is a hard skill to master. The slower you communicate, the more it's listened to and the more people pay attention. I always use the term in any aspect of relationship building, low and slow. It will change your ability to cold call, because when you're slow and low, your confidence is where?
So your speed right now is a little too slow. So maybe in between normal and slow,
What are you listening?
sort of. I kind of.
I'm listening to you, can ever, yeah, but you understand, I get that. But when you're meeting someone for the first time, when you're trying to create engagement, as that relationship progresses, yeah, the personality, the nuances, the relationship, all those things can come out full force. But when you're trying to convince someone that you're a badass real estate agent, right? Low and slow is the best way to create engagement. So you want to be extremely slow and so I have a really good friend who's a surgeon, and he was a ER surgeon in Dallas, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. Probably the 3 worst places to be a surgeon in those cities, right? And so I remember asking him, like, I wanted to hear stories, like the horror stories you hear, or gunshots, or whatever else is happening. And he told me a story completely out of the ER. He said, well, one of the craziest experiences I had was I was scuba diving the Great Barrier Reef. I'm like, where is this going? He's going to save someone's life. There was a shark attack. My mind is, I'm like you. I want to go, like, get to the point, like finish the story. And he said, I was scuba diving and we were going down to 100 feet. And, you have to slowly go down and slowly come up, right? And he said, as he got to the bottom and they began to explore, his oxygen tank was completely out of there. They forgot to fill his oxygen. And so what happens in that situation? Like, nothing's coming in, right? And so I'm intrigued, like, what's going on here? And he said, the first thing I did is I took my pulse. Okay, my heart is still beating. And he literally was talking this slow. This guy was cool, calm, and collected as anyone would ever imagine. Said, I'm still breathing, my heart's still pumping. Okay, well, what happens if you're that far and you have to, like, zoom to the top? The lungs will explode, because as you continue to go up, it expands, you're done. So you cannot go up fast. So it's usually 10 meters at a time. And sorry, it was 100 meters that he was down. So there was a rope, he started climbing up the rope, and he said he got to 10 meters to let his lungs acclimate. Checked his pulse again. 10 more meters, checked his pulse again. 10 more meters until he got to the top. Like, you don't survive that. Usually when you're 100 meters down, it doesn't. Like, you're done for.
It's 300 feet.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so he was able to survive that by being low and slow. When you talk too fast, you just lose everyone in that environment.
What
All right.
company was that? Cause I don't want to go with them.
You know, I didn't get into the specifics
I'm
of.
glad you took the time before you went down.
That's
Appreciate
on me, that's my fault, I didn't get the specifics, I wasn't
Now
specific.
call it back.
That's my wife, asking all sorts of questions.
I'm gonna call Dr. Rodriguez back and go, okay, he did tell me with the worst way to die, maybe I'll tell you. All right, voice inflection, what is voice inflection? This is your highest confidence in any level of communication, your voice inflection. What is voice inflection?
Up, down. or
Yeah, the
down?
sing-songy side of your voice. Anybody ever hear the Chinese sing a hymn? Because their whole thing is based on voice inflection and tone, right? It doesn't sound anything like the music, I can tell you that. It's rather interesting. But what your voice inflection, so how can I help you today? What's my voice doing? Coming up, right? It's coming up. Welcome to North Shore. What are you looking for? Here we go. Pretty
Straight.
kill. I noticed you looking at that section. You realize we have cell. Where's my voice going? Down. Which one creates more engagement?
That's-
So when you go low and slow, you want it to go down. It creates more emphasis. It creates more engagement. It creates more interest the lower you go. Any comments on that? Thoughts? You're not agreeing with me, but that's okay. I didn't write this book. I just read it a lot.
I'm observing.
Okay.
Sorry, I have.
No, you don't. No, I'm just giving you a hard time because I actually enjoy your engagement. See me, just look at me, just creating engagement. Left and right. All right, your tone. What's the tone?
Yes.
The emphasis you put on certain words. What are important words you want to put emphasis on? Either hard or soft.
Yes.
Yes. Right? What's your value? If you have a value that you're talking about, if it's an open house, what are some of the words you want to put emphasis on?
So,
Sorry?
like when you say the word I'm selling.
Okay.
Take bold and you'll know.
I don't know, we pause on certain words, so it gives them a kind of second or that. Solidify and then stop.
This is tone and spacing is a very hard skill to master. The words that you want to put emphasis on, right? The ones that you want to enunciate the most or be soft, right? Usually in a close, your tone should be fairly soft in that conversation, right? The words that are important. But yeah, hard or soft. Soft is always the most effective way to create engagement. Being soft in the words that matter, especially in your communication. Any questions on tone? We good? We're let's speed up here. All right, volume. Loud, normal, or soft?
And between soft and loud.
Now, when you know the person very well and you're loud like I am, you can always be loud. Loud's not good. Have you ever been in a big room and it's super noisy and everyone's yelling, they're like, hey, and then somebody whistles really loud? If you notice, that room will get much more silent if you just sit down and you start to tell people what's actually important, and everyone will usually agree. I think it was Watson that would just raise his hand, right? Created it without being loud or anything. Just raise your hand and then everyone stopped talking. So you want to be extremely soft in the way that your volume is. It does work for commerce, right? They engage. When I talk soft, usually people will lean in. They want to know what you're saying. And usually when you speak soft, it's much more important what you have to say. Jenny.
I think that's different for men and women.
I was just gonna ask. If this is why women are typically,
Yeah, sometimes
it comes easy.
that can be perceived, yeah, having a soft voice can be perceived as weakness.
Well, I don't want to be someone that tries to differentiate between men and women. That's not the kind of guy. I completely agree. That's why women are super successful.
But I think she was going the opposite direction. with that.
Yeah, I don't speak softly.
I think you're speaking fairly softly now.
Smile.
Every interaction I've had with you has been very soft. I think women, when you speak soft, there's a nurturing aspect to that. Does that make sense? it means you genuinely care what you were trying to communicate. Or you genuinely care about that person, that you want to be extremely sensitive to what you're saying.
I would argue we don't want to become full funds and nice, so. I think that's where she was going with it.
But that's also why you want to speak
Low.
low and not in a mousy. Right, does that make sense? Spacing. Who loves watching football? Hockey. Who loves watching hockey? I just want to see Bradley raise his hand. Just thanks, Bradley, for raising your hand. I think the most important thing that a sportscaster or color commentator can say is nothing. Especially after a big event, a touchdown, a goal score, whatever that is. Why?
People need time to absorb the event.
But what are you hearing instead? The cheering or the swearing and awful words because somebody did score on their team, right? Like that silence is crucial. This will help you in every close when you can master the art of pausing. And usually we get so I struggle with this immensely. I struggle with silence. Why are you guys so quiet? Is it me? Do I have something in my teeth? Is something not looking right? Right? Like you immediately get there. But silence is gold and is a soft close with what you do. And so usually after a yes or no question, pausing for that response or the emotion to hit is okay. Why?
I think it gives people space to consider how they really feel about it, and then they can be honest with what they feel.
I think this is a great opportunity to develop that boundary with that one. It allows them know that they can be comfortable with you in silence. I can't say, I have to say all three syllables, comfortable. I struggle with it, I'm sorry. So don't make comments on that. I'm already aware of my inadequacy with that word. But it gives a boundary, a healthy boundary, that they're safe with you and that they can trust you because you're allowing them time to let that emotion sink in, because 100% of success is based on what? Emotion, how they feel. They will go with you on how they feel. Your pitch may be phenomenal. Your 7% of what you say may be incredible, but it's how you make them feel, right? That's the old saying, people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel, right? Whether that's laughter or sorrow, whatever that is, how you make them feel. So this art of metaverbal is helping people be safe and comfortable with how you make them feel, right? There's a whole other class on listening, which I'm happy to do down the road, which is extremely crucial, I think, in this industry.
We bring ourselves.
What's that? You can for sure bring your spouses and your children for that. I need to have my children show up, but they probably won't listen.
A for effort.
No, I honestly, the art of listening is even more important than the art of communication. And the key with listening is not only to be heard, but they have to believe that you actually believe what they say, or that they actually believe that you listen. But the key with all of this is how you say what you want to say. And that creates safety, that creates boundaries, that creates your success. Any questions on this? Any comments?
Yeah.
This game is going to visit in the Bookie agent?
No,
No, it's not. Okay.
no, this is a accumulation of 7 years teaching this class on different levels. Yeah. You guys are awesome. Thanks for engaging with me and calling me out for my BS sometimes, which is too often. But yeah, you guys create a great environment here. If anyone's effectively communicating, it's you guys, and it shows in your success. And we are grateful for you as a leadership team to be a part of this.
Not great.
Not big enough to what? Look at you going soft, low and soft. Now I'm super engaged. It didn't fit, all right? It was like a pajama shirt. So if I wore it, I wasn't gonna wear pants. It was like gonna be a pajama shirt. I actually asked for a mesh belly shirt, but they don't make those in that shirt. I thought I would use. All right, any other comments on this? Let's welcome our panel sponsor today. Do we have the slide?
One of my favorite topics.
And if you guys want to role play, do any of this, I'm more than happy to do this. One thing that I love doing is holding accountability with agents. And I've said this before, if you want one-on-one with me, I am more than happy to do that. One of the things I love to base it on is the 411, and we cover 5 things. What were you trying to do? How did you do? How do you feel you did? What are you gonna do now, and what's gonna get in your way? Right, because your weekly tasks have to be based on moving towards your goal. 10% goal, 10% action plan, 80%. So anybody that's interested in that, I'm happy to do that, and it's 15 minutes. Anything longer than 15 minutes is what? Therapy. And I'm good with therapy too, so. Anyway, welcome our title sponsor.
Tomorrow, are you here?
Hi,
I'll try to-
Jeremy Heath, Vision Property Inspections, and I served a mission in Bangkok, Thailand, where they have 10 tones in the language. The word for the number 2 is song. Do you hear the dip?
She's.
The word for envelope is song, completely flat. And if you put a song on it, that is brothel. So I'm not gonna say song, song, song. 2 envelopes for my brothel, please. And they do sing in tone.
But
Now, when I first got there, I couldn't understand anything because I didn't know the language yet, but it still took me 10 months to be able to understand anything. So they said I could take 5 to 10 minutes, but I do know this. There's food waiting and you will lynch me if I do take as much time as I said I could. So about 3 minutes, then we move on with life, get you something that makes your tummy happy. I did bring you chocolate. I did bring you breath mints.
You see how his voice goes down. You got everybody's attention there.
Now, I've been doing inspections for 15 years, I've also owned an insurance agency, been doing that 20 years. And I own a martial arts school where I teach free seminars to real estate agents on how to defend yourself if you're in a home and somebody's there not to buy the home. And those seminars are free, so just call me, we can set one up whenever it's convenient for you. But what I do with inspections, I go in, I'm completely thorough, but I'm not there to kill the sale. I'm there to give them a good idea of the house. So if I come across something that is a concern, oh, this tile is cracked, that's not a concern. But if there is a problem, I call you during the inspection so that you know what's going on before the customer does. That way you're not hearing about it when they hear about it and you don't know how to take care of the situation. So if you get a call from me during the inspection, it's not a big situation, but it's okay, I want you to know before the customer does, because they're your customer. While they hired me, we're working together to make sure things happen right. So with that, my tagline, thorough inspections, simple reports. As I go through it, Northern Utah, the entire way. And if you've got a special client that is out in Delta, yeah, I'll do that for you. I'm here to make sure that your clients are taken care of. I'm here to make sure that you refer me again. I'm here to make sure that everybody's happy. Now, have I had inspections where in the end, because of what I found, they didn't take the house? Yes, that's going to happen. But the craziest one, last story, then we move on for a piece of candy. I stuck my head into the attic and then climbed up all the way. And the roof truss was broken. Now, the house was 20 years old. The people that hired me to inspect it, they would be the 4th owners. The roof attic area was full of the cellulose insulation that gets sprayed in. And all the residue was in the break. So that break has been existent since the house was built. The city inspector didn't get it. The other 3 inspections didn't get it because they did not go into the attic. If there's a crawl space, yes, I crawl the crawl space. If there's an attic, 130 degrees up there, I go into the attic and make sure things are good. I found fire damage that was not disclosed, even though they said it was repaired. Doesn't matter if it was repaired. It needs to be disclosed that at one point it was there. On that note, same day inspections, if there's something like, oh crap, what's going on? I've driven to Vernal
on an emergency same day inspection and I got home at midnight because friend needed a little bit extra. Any questions for me? Any thoughts?
I think price, we're always curious about price.
I have my prices published and it's in a laminated folder that's already on your wall out there. Prices are broken down by type of house and square footage. But yeah, all you gotta do is pull up the file. Okay, I know exactly what it is. You're not gonna send them and say, I don't know how much he's gonna charge you, but go talk to him. Maybe he'll be good. No, you already know how much it's gonna be. Upfront, everything. It's clear and understood. Unlike what the Supreme Court did with your compensation situation. So on that note, there's not anything else. Like I said, martial arts seminar, it's 1 hour class for free. My studio is in Sunset. Insurance, you never have problems with underwriting, not getting the binder ready for you. And of course, inspections same day for free, no additional charge. I do believe the pizza's waiting, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Still thinking about the role playing.
You want to do?
I just checked.
I also.
Okay, so if you want on, we could do. Yeah, we leave it here. So you can turn it on. Or. Get my cord. Yeah, so it is on the. The HDMI cord. Thank you. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna. Yeah.